welcome back to my channel and welcome to my Q&A video. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on YouTube and on Instagram, and yeah, I wanted to make this video because my YouTube channel is still pretty new. I mean, I just started on the 1st of February, so I think this Q&A is actually going to be posted on the 1st of March, so it's going to be exactly 1 month since I started my channel, and it's been crazy. I did not expect to get as many subscribers as I did for one of my shorts to go viral. It's just very insane to me, but I'm so thankful. And since now I have this huge audience, this morning I reached 5,900 subscribers. It's just insane. Thank you so much. And so I thought I should, introduce myself and talk a bit about my art, since that's what you're here for. So yeah, I asked you to ask me some more specific questions, but also just some basic information about me. My name is Ginevra and I'm Italian. I live in Italy, but I grew up in England from the ages of 7 to 17. I lived there. I am currently 19 years old and I'm going to be 20 in July, which is pretty scary, but it's okay, I'll get through it. And yeah, I do realism and illustration mostly. I do a bit of everything actually. Like, I've tried pretty much every medium, and my dream is actually to be an animator someday, whether it's 2D, 3D. My dream is kind of more 3D, but I just really want to be in animation someday, so that's my long-term goal. But yeah, I do either realism, I usually do pet portraits, or I like to make art inspired by my favorite movies and TV shows. And then I have my series of illustration, which is Cats in Paris, where I do these much more simplified drawings, usually with oil pastels or paint or random stuff like you can see right here. And I think that is what most of you subscribe to me for, since that's what I went viral for. And yeah, it's also my favorite art to make currently, so I'm kind of going away a bit from realism and sticking more to my own personal style, because I've always wanted to have my own style and now I do, and it's like, wow. I actually do kind of want to make a video on how I finally managed to develop my own art style, because I know that that's a huge struggle for most artists. So if you're an artist and you're interested in that, do let me know and maybe I'll make that video as well. So anyway, let's get started into your questions. So I've got my computer here and I'm gonna read them from very far away. Right, so I'm gonna start off with questions from Instagram. I don't have many, I have more from YouTube, but the first question is my favorite one, and it's my friend actually sent this, and I love this question. I was waiting for an opportunity to talk more about this. And she asked me, what was the process of how your Paris cats became your OCs? And actually I still remember I saw this video on TikTok, just like an aesthetic video, and it had these pictures of Paris, and then on top there were like these cats that were drawn in a style very similar to mine. And I think it was a black and white cat, and then I decided to do that for me as well. Actually, it looks very similar. I did change them up. I took a lot of inspiration from that for the heads, but then the bodies, like, I kind of figured that out on my own. And yeah, it was these really cute illustrations on top of photos of Paris. I think I'll try and find them on Pinterest and like put them in the video. And then I started experimenting in my sketchbook. So the first drawing ever that I did from the series, I'm gonna put here, and it was with oil pastels. And I remember, as someone who was used to doing realism, I just felt like very free doing these sort of drawings, and just like I wasn't paying attention to shading or like the realism. Like I was just going with the flow. And then I finished it and I was like, well, actually I really like this. I think it's really cute because it's messy on purpose. Like, I am able to do realism, but I just decide to do these really messy things. So yeah, I'm looking here in my sketchbook. Yeah, so I actually drew that reference picture once already in the sketchbook. I remember doing this when I was at the beach because I just liked this photo. And then later on I added the cat to it. So this was my first ever drawing that I did of one of my cats. This is the black one. So not very good. And then this was the sketch for that first ever drawing that I did. So yeah, all the memories. I don't really know when this is from. I think it was sometime in 2024, late 2024. So yeah, that's where I got the inspiration from, and then really just from there I started kind of giving them a personality in my head. So the white one is like this very soft feminine cat. She's like supposed to be from like a rich neighborhood, and then the black one is just always very angry, and he's just very dark. Like you can never really see his it's always a bit hard to see his nose because I make, you know, his fur is black, and then the outlines are also black, and I realized I actually like that because it makes him more like mysterious looking. And he's just a street cat. So yeah, that's the story for now. It's supposed to be, I've said this before, I want it to be like similar to the love story in Lady and the Tramp, where like she was this like rich dog and he was just poor. And I think it's cute. I like the story that I've made for them in my head. But yeah, that's kind of it actually. And then from there I made more drawings and I sort of developed the story in my head. I still don't have a clear idea of what the story is for these cats, but I'm piecing it together. Okay, the next question from Instagram is, how did you study at school, good or bad? I was really good at school. I always have been, not to brag. Yeah, I decided not to go into higher education for now at least. I'm just focusing more on what I want to do with myself, with my art. But yeah, I was actually homeschooled for a lot of years, so I don't have like grades from those years, but then I went back to school and I was doing great. And in primary school as well, yeah. I was pretty good. And then, do you like coffee? I do like coffee, especially iced coffee, but I don't really drink it ever. I used to drink it a lot when I was like 14. I had a phase where I drank iced coffee every afternoon, but then I randomly started getting like, I don't even know if it's lactose intolerant or caffeine intolerant, because sometimes I try to drink like iced coffee with lactose free and I still get a stomach ache. So I think there's just like something in coffee that really bothers my stomach. So unfortunately I don't drink coffee. What got you into selling art? I mean, there's two answers to this. I mean, one, of course, art is what I want to do in my life, and to live you need money. So if you want to live as an artist, you need to make money off of your art. So that was, you know, that's the obvious answer. But I honestly, I used to think that I would never ever want to sell my art because I was so sad at the idea of like parting with my artworks. I think that's a common thing, right? Like a lot of artists don't want to sell their works because they're sad that they won't have them anymore. But for me, actually, I thought that way. But then when I started selling it and I was getting like my first ever review on Etsy, I saw this picture of someone, you know, with my painting on his wall, and it was just like, that really filled me with joy, and it makes me happy to have my art on my wall, but the idea of someone else seeing my art every day and like inviting people over and being like, yeah, this is a painting I got from this girl, like it's just, that makes me even happier. So I think sometimes I have made some silly mistakes where like I put the shipping price too low, or I just didn't make myself get paid enough. And so sometimes I barely earn any money from my sales, but I always say I don't really care, because at the end of the day, someone has my artwork in their home, and that's just like, that's what really makes me happy. But of course I do need money as well, but I'm just saying, like, I have trouble focusing only on profit because I just love knowing that someone liked my art enough to look at it every day. That's probably what makes me the happiest about selling it. Moving on to YouTube, this person asked me 5 questions in one comment, so I'm gonna go through them quickly. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is pink, maybe also purple, but I would say mostly pink. What's your favorite fruit? Apples. What's your favorite meal? I'm gonna say something really stupid and childish, like fried chicken and fries or something like that, because I love it. Or pizza. I kind of have the taste buds of a 5-year-old, but I'm all about honesty, so yeah, that is my favorite meal. How many countries have you traveled to? I'm actually not sure. I'm gonna try and like visualize a map of Europe in my head because I haven't been outside of Europe, but I'm gonna try and visualize it. So I've been to every country in the United Kingdom. So if those count, then that's 4. And also Ireland, France, Spain, Italy, of course, Switzerland, Austria, Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, Monaco, and yeah, I think that's it. Well, not that's it. That's a lot of countries, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all of them. If you were to go back 5 years in time, what would you say to yourself? I'm not sure. 5 years ago, I was 14. That was not my best year. I could say a lot of things to 14-year-old me. Honestly, there are some things that I could be like, don't do that. But I don't think I would, because I think, honestly, I don't really have any regrets, because if something happened to me, even if it wasn't the best experience, or if I had a rough time, it always teaches you something, you know? I think every experience, whether it's good or bad, of course it's better if it doesn't happen, if it's bad, but once it does happen, I wouldn't really take that back, because yeah, I just think there's always something valuable to be learned. And maybe that's cheesy, but I think I wouldn't really say anything to myself. I would say be less insecure, because that's a year when I was really focused on how I looked, and I was really insecure. I was like really secure and then really insecure, like out of nowhere. So I would say maybe stop hating yourself. Maybe I would say that. How many art pieces do you have, and how many cats do you have? Well, unfortunately, I don't have any cats. I can't have cats right now because I don't really know what's gonna happen in my life. I've been moving houses quite often in the past few years. That's something that you need to, like a cat, yeah, you can move with them, but it's gonna stress them out, and it's just, it's a living being, and it would be like my kid if I had a cat. So I'm waiting for the right moment to get one where I can like truly take care of my child. And how many art pieces do you have? I have no idea. I mean, if you mean in my Cats in Paris series, let me try and think. I think it's somewhere from 10 to 15. My other ones, no idea, because I've been drawing since I was 10, so it could be hundreds, 1,000, I don't know. My better ones, also around 10 to 15. Like if I had to make a portfolio, there would probably be no more than 30 pieces in it. But yeah, I've done many drawings in the past, so I have no idea. Okay, another cat question. If you had a cat, what would you name it? I've given this a lot of thought, guys, and if I had a boy cat, I actually haven't decided on that one yet. If I had a girl cat, I think I've decided I would want to name her Blair. Like Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl. Blair's my favorite character. I know she's mean, and I probably wouldn't actually be friends with her in real life, but I just, it's like the style, the chicness of it all. And I just think Blair is like a cute name. That's it, really. I just think it's a really cute name. Like, hey Blair, come here. I don't know, it would be cute, I think. So I think that's gonna be the name. What has been the longest a piece has taken? This is a hard question because I don't really keep track of the hours and stuff. I would like to, but I just, I don't want to put a timer. I feel like it stresses me out, but I'm pretty sure, and I have it right here, up till now, I think the one that has taken me the longest, and this is in a frame, and it also like fell down. I haven't fixed it yet, but you guys can see it anyway. So I'm gonna try and like turn. I can't see my camera because I'm using my back camera, so I hope it's showing. But it's Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. So this is one of my realism ones. And yeah, I hope you can see it without the reflections. I'm just gonna turn it around a bit. But yeah, this took me, I think, around 40 hours. I'm not so sure, but I think I was sort of keeping track here, and it was around 40. And yeah, it's honestly my prized possession. Look at this side here, like the lighting, the shadows, like I ate. I have to say it, I did a great job here. So that's the one that's taken me the longest. And also my Jinx painting, which I don't have with me, but I'll put a picture. I loved that one. I mean, I know it's not like one of my original works because Jinx is an existing character, but I really like that one. And then here I'm doing this, I don't know what to call it. I've been doing live streams on YouTube where I work on this. It's kind of like one of my Cats in Paris paintings, but it's not a painting, it's made with yarn. So I'm just like going in there with the yarn, and it's taken me 20 hours so far. I have beads here as well. It's a bit of a torture, but I actually really enjoy it because it's very like gratifying, like I'm doing something very difficult. And yeah, so I think this is probably going to be the one that has taken me the longest once it's done, because I still have so many details to work on. And right now I've been working on it for a week, and I think on average I've been working on it for 3 to 5 hours every day. So in the end, it's probably going to be about 40 still. So what's your favorite thing to draw? I will probably say cats, because whether it's in my style or realistic portraits, I love drawing cats. And I'm actually working, I think next week I should be able to post finally a detailed drawing tutorial for one of my, I'm going to make a realistic pet portrait and make a video on that. It's going to be like an hour long, maybe more, and I'll really go into detail. So I think that's going to be interesting. And yeah, that's my favorite thing. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of like landscapes. I do love, you know, I love drawing like Paris in my illustrations and stuff, but if I'm talking about realism, it does kind of piss me off when I have to draw landscapes and like get all the details and the buildings and the perspective. So I like to do that when it's more simplified. That's one thing I don't really like. Do you have a favorite and least favorite medium to use, and why? My favorite medium, I think, is colored pencils, because colored pencils are what I started with, and it's what I improved the most with. My Davy Jones drawing, that was made with colored pencils. It's the one that I have put the most effort into learning. The other ones, you know, I do a bunch of things, but I never really, I guess acrylic painting also I'm pretty good at, but like watercolor, I kind of just use it passively. I don't really know like all the techniques and stuff, but with colored pencils, I know it very well, and I think it's the most satisfying one for me to use. I don't really use it for illustrations. I use more oil pastels for illustrations, and I do love those as well. That's the one that I use to make my more like messy looking illustrations. But yeah, colored pencils, I like them more for realism, and it's just so satisfying to see it all come to life when I'm doing realism. That's why I don't think, even though I have my own style, I don't think I'm going to stop doing realism. I know some people are sort of against it. They're like, oh, it's unoriginal, but I still find it really satisfying to do. And it's, I guess I would like to make illustration my job and realism my hobby, sort of. Not that I don't enjoy illustrations, but you get what I mean. And my least favorite medium, I don't really know. I'm trying to think of all of the mediums that I've used, and I feel like there is one that I said, oh, I never want to touch this again, I despise it, but it's just not coming to me right now. I think out of the ones I most commonly use, I would maybe say watercolors, just because, as I said before, I don't really know the techniques and like how to make it look super good and realistic, and so that can just kind of make me mad. But yeah, I guess out of all of them, it's sort of the least enjoyable, also because, you know, like they either dry so fast or you add too much water and then it's a mess. It's a bit messy, and I don't really use them as much. But I think, you know, if you give me any type of art supply, I can work with it. Like I can make any art supply enjoyable. So I guess I think there is something I hate, but it's just I can't really think of it right now. Okay, what do you think about artificial intelligence painters? Well, first of all, I don't consider them painters or artists. It's just, I don't really use the term like AI art. I've been trying to say more just like AI images, because, well, it's not art. I mean, you can say that like you're generating an image inspired by art, but it's not art. And yeah, I also like, I posted a short the other day, and someone started getting like really mad and technical in my comments, being like, you know, let me know if you need help finding a real job, because you know, now I can generate images in seconds and no one's gonna need you anymore. And I think that doesn't make sense. I know that there's a lot of artists that feel threatened by AI and are scared that it's going to take their jobs. And maybe that is true if you're like working for a big company, like you were an illustrator for them and now they switched to using AI and they fired you. Okay, that's fair enough. But if you're doing freelancing, I feel like actually, I believe that there is going to be a rise in demand for artists because art has always been like, you know, you tell someone you want to be an artist and they're like, oh, that's not a real job. It's always been like that. Way before AI, right? Like if you're an artist, you will have heard that at some point. You can't make money from it. But now, with the fact that AI is coming up, there are so many like viral videos and stuff of people explaining why art is like, you know, real human-made art is better. And I feel like there is more information being spread about how important artists are because of this. I don't know if it makes sense, but I just think that seeing how ugly non-human made images are will make people, even people who didn't care about art in the past, they are going to start caring because they're realizing that, you know, it's like when you lose something that you didn't know you had, right? So yeah, I don't feel threatened by it, but I do think that it is incredibly stupid and it's just simply not needed. I know that people are like, you know, sometimes people will just, if you say that, they'll reply and be like, oh, but it's just like, it's something fun. Like, we have always lived without ChatGPT, without Sora, whatever. It is simply not needed. And the people who think that like AI images are like better looking than human made art or something, I was thinking, right, if you have the option to have either a house full of like framed, printed out AI images or framed, really bad drawings that you made, or like, you know, you just have like a drawing night with your friends and you all make drawings and you're not artists, you suck at drawing, but they're all made by you and your friends, and you know, you frame those, and every time that you look at them, you're reminded of good memories. Even if that art is really bad because you don't know how to draw, it's going to look so much better than generated stuff. But what I'm trying to say is, the people that say I use AI because I don't know how to draw, it doesn't matter if you don't know how to draw, because I could look at a children's drawing and I would feel more emotion than looking at an AI image, because that child picked up a pencil and did it, and you know, in every line that that kid drew, there is something that came from him, you know. And maybe that sounds like too deep or boring to some people, but like, if you think that AI images are truly the same as human-made art, I'm sorry, but I think that just makes you very shallow, and it means that you just don't really have the capacity to understand beauty. I'm a very, I guess, introspective person, and like, I think a lot about everything, and so every time I see an artwork, I think about how the person made that, and I look at all of the lines, and when I look at a generated image, I can't do that. And so for me, it just completely takes away all of the fun of looking at an artwork, and so it's nothing to me. It doesn't make me feel anything. The most I can do is think about the prompt that the person typed, but that's no fun. That's my opinion, and I'm sorry, but I think I think it's also the true opinion. I think AI can be useful in like science or whatever, in medical settings, but it has no place in art, because art doesn't need progress. Art is just creativity. You could say that, you know, solving diseases needs progress, so if AI can help you do that, that's amazing. But with art, is like, it's just us and our pencils, you know, we don't need a machine. Okay, last question. I have to go up to read this because it's on my computer. What do you think about art stealers, and did you ever try digital? Lastly, I want to know if you stream on Twitch also. First of all, I don't stream on Twitch. I think that could be fun. I don't really know how it works. Now I'm just like doing live streams on YouTube. But yeah, I don't really want to add another social media platform to my list, because right now I'm super active on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and also I post my art on Reddit and Facebook groups. So if I don't look at my phone for a few hours, sometimes if I'm lucky and a video gets a lot of views and stuff, I have like so many comments to reply to, because I always want to reply to every single comment. It's a lot of work, honestly. I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is so difficult, it sucks. I love it, but I want to be able to keep up with them, and with every comment, everything on my social media, so I don't really want to add another thing right now to that list. What do you think about art stealers? So I asked this person what they meant exactly, but I didn't get a reply yet before filming this, so I'm guessing they mean like online, right? Like people who repost other artists' art and don't like credit them and stuff. And that sucks, of course. I hate that. I mean, whatever this person means, my opinion is negative, okay? Whether you steal art from an art gallery or the internet, or if you're a brand and you're using an artist's illustration without their permission, all of those suck. So my answer is going to be the same in any way. And did you ever try digital? I have, and I really wanted to be like a digital artist, but I just can never really get into it. I think sometimes, you know, I recently got like a free trial of Photoshop to finally try it, and I did a drawing. I'll put it here if I can find it. And it's satisfying, but also I feel like I'm just getting to a very good point where I'm satisfied with how I'm able to draw and paint traditionally, and the idea of learning basically from scratch, because I think it's very difficult to learn digital art even if you have always done traditional. It just kind of irks me, and I think I will do it at some point because it is still like one of my goals, but I always tend to give up very easily. And also just like the fact that I'm staring at a screen for hours, I don't know, I just really love the feeling of holding a pencil in my hand and like looking at all the different pencils in front of me and the paints and the textures, everything. It's something that I miss a lot when I'm doing stuff digitally. But yeah, I also for years I've been like on and off learning Blender 3D. So recently I just finished like a month ago, I did my first ever project on Blender with no tutorials, which is wonderful. I made the tower from Tangled and I was really happy with it. I did grease pencil as well, and it was really fun. And I've done a lot of tutorials in the past. So I think if I was doing digital art, it would be more related to animation rather than drawing, because I would love to do that, but I'm not sure if I want to. No, I do want to, but you get what I mean. It's just I'm focusing on other things right now, so we'll see. Okay, so that is it, and I just saw that this video is 40 minutes long, so hopefully I'm going to be able to edit it to make it a bit shorter. But it was super fun, and thank you so much to everyone who asked me something. I love interacting with you and talking about myself. I love talking about myself, so maybe I'll do another one of these in the future when I have more subscribers. Not that I need more because there's so many of you, but you know what I mean. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you learned something interesting about me, and I will see you in my next video. Next week I post every Sunday, so turn that notification bell on, and yeah, bye!